Yoav Borowitz is the head of sport at Kan, Israeli National Broadcast. Yoav, thank you so much indeed for joining us. What is the reaction in Israel? It seems like a very strange arrangement.
Well, Adnan, this is very dramatic here in Israel, what's happening. I just came back from the Beitar Jerusalem practice and from the Machne Yehuda market in the center of Jerusalem, the old city. And I would tell you that about 90% of the diehard fans are totally in support of this deal, this historic deal between Beitar Jerusalem, the most right-wing soccer club in Israel, and the UAE, which means that 50% of the club now will be owned by Ben Khalifa, the sheikh from Dubai. And this is really something unbelievable. And I think it's not going to be, the partnership will not only be in terms of ownership, but maybe also for the first time ever, we will see Beitar Jerusalem starting to sign Arab players to play on the field.
Well, wouldn't that be amazing, never having had an Arab player? But tell us about Beitar's problems with this racist group of fans.
Well, this racist group of fans, de La Familia, they're a minority of the fans, but they're a very vocal minority. And what happened in the last 10, 20 years that a lot of supporters, moderate Beitar supporters, are not supporting the team anymore, are not going to games because of this La Familia group. And I'm talking prominent figures. I'm talking Israeli President Reuven Ruvi Rivlin, who was once the chairman of Beitar Jerusalem, a diehard fan who hasn't been going to games because of this racism, and he's anti-racism for over 10 years. And we're talking the former Prime Minister, Ehud Olmert, who was a huge Beitar supporter who hasn't been going to games for so long. So you have a lot of Beitar supporters who are really dying to come back and want to support the team, but they don't want any part of any racist action. And this is why we should also commend the new owner, Moshe Hogeg, who says, I am now doing history. For me, Arabs are just as good as Jews, and they are our brothers, and we should do business together. We should be partners. But the next step, as I mentioned before, should be signing Arab players on to play with the team, because obviously we would never want a European soccer club not to sign Jewish players, or not to sign black players, or not to sign Asian players. This is something that is totally unacceptable, and this is why it is so vital that Beitar Jerusalem will also sign Arab players. But now having the co-ownership, the partnership of 50% Jewish, 50% Muslim Arabic, this is really something amazing, and this is really a breakthrough.
Yoav, tell me, does La Familia, do they have any political clout? You know about football in Argentina. There, the hardcore are called barras bravas. They are used by politicians to exert pressure on that politician's opponents. And we know La Familia have been getting involved against those civilians who have been protesting against Benjamin Netanyahu. Does La Familia have political clout?
Exactly, because, you know, recently we've seen La Familia supporters going to the streets with events that have nothing to do with football or sport. They're just protests against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, and they were very violent altercations. So they say we are part of the extreme right wing. We don't want Arab players. We don't want Arab ownership. They also said that they'll be coming to the practice on Friday to protest. It's going to be very interesting because the owner of Beitar, Moshe Hogeg, just posted on Facebook a few hours ago. He threatened them and he said, if one of you will come and if there will be any kind of racism, you guys should be arrested. And I am now going, and heads front, I'm going against you guys, against La Familia. But it's true that La Familia also has a political clout, and we're talking a few hundred people, maybe 1,000, 2,000 people max. So the amount of recognition that they've been receiving in the last 10 years is just unbelievable, and also the amount of power. And the main reason why Beitar Jerusalem did not sign Arab players until this very day is because of La Familia.
Absolutely. Yoav, you know, the biggest compliment you can have, my editor Andrew says how interesting it is to listen to you. I agree. Yoav Borowitz in Israel. Thank you, Yoav.